Jordan joining us now on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline for another Matich Monday is ESPN college football insider and expert BYU national champion Trevor Matich, a guy who personally I think could have made the jump early to the NFL if he wanted to. Trevor, Zach Wilson has made that decision. What do you think of Zach's jump after a record-setting season?
It was the right choice, especially because of his injury history. I mean, this is his first fully healthy year at BYU, and if he comes back, there's always the chance that he might get dinged again. And if he comes back, how is he going to surpass what he's already done? I mean, he might, but from the standpoint of his future, this is the right moment. And considering that he'll be probably the second or third quarterback taken, certainly a first rounder, he needs to go, as bad as that is for BYU fans.
We'll discuss where potentially he could go in a minute, but what a season he had. 43 total touchdowns, only 3 giveaways. An efficiency record at BYU for single game, season, career, 6th in completion percentage and efficiency in a single season, all time in FBS history. I mean, this was an all-time season, and you played with a lot of great BYU quarterbacks and watched forever. Where would you put him among the BYU greats now? And I think maybe the dust will settle and later we'll go, oh, maybe he's here. But right now, what do you think?
I think splash in the middle of all of them. Splash in the middle of all of them. Now, he didn't make first team AP All-American. That is not on him, though. There were some other guys that had something to say about that. When you look at the performance that he had, it was the caliber of a first-team All-American. And I think BYU fans should remember him that way. And when you look at the quarterbacks I played with, Mark Wilson, Jim McMahon, Steve Young, Robbie Bosco, I think if you put the name Zach Wilson in that, it would belong in that group.
You forgot Blaine Fowler, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Blaine Fowler was the hero of the holiday that doesn't get enough credit. He came in when Robbie Bosco was out with an injury, and he kept things going. And things could have gone south at that point, but Blaine had a steady hand and an accurate arm, and he kept it going until Robbie came back. Blaine Fowler is one of the unsung heroes of that season.
Hey, we're here for it. Trevor Matich with us on BYU Sports Nation, another Matich Monday. Now everybody wants to know, well, where's Zach Wilson going to end up? Because some mock projections, and by some I mean many, have him going 2nd overall to the New York Jets, but then Justin Fields plays the game of his career in the college football semifinal against Clemson. And now Jets fans are saying, well, maybe we want Justin Fields. So where do you think Zach and Justin are both going to end up, Trevor?
Well, I think for the Jets, each guy brings a different benefit. The Jets aren't very good. Their offensive line, they've been investing in, but they've got nobody to throw to. So you got to have a quarterback that can bug out and run when everybody's covered. And that happens a lot. Justin Fields is physically stronger and bigger than Zach Wilson, and that may give him an opportunity to succeed more with the Jets earlier than Zach might. If I'm the Jets, because of that, I may go with Zach. I may go with Justin. But I think Zach Wilson has a chance to have as good a career as any of the quarterbacks coming out, regardless of where he might be drafted. The reason is twofold. First of all, he has what amounts to the price of entry. He's got the arm talent. He can throw the ball deep down the field. He can drive it into tight windows on the far side of the field. He can take speed off of it and throw it with touch, all those different things. But that's only mildly interesting if you don't have the mental capacity to process information fast enough. There were a lot of quarterbacks that came out and had 2 flaws when they came into the NFL as first-round draft choices. One flaw was they were great throwing the ball in shorts, but when they were under pressure, they didn't throw so well. Zach Wilson actually throws well under pressure. We've seen him fling that ball 50 yards in the air all the way across the field as he was rolling to the side with pressure coming at him and drop it in a bucket. So that's good. The second problem that a lot of quarterbacks have coming in is that they can tell you all the answers on the practice field or in the meeting room on the whiteboard. And they get into the game and they need to be able to process that same information in 2 seconds or less, or it's no good. If it's 2.5 seconds, you can't play quarterback in the NFL no matter how well you throw the ball. And Zach has proven that he has not only the work ethic to study and learn the academic side of it, but he's got the speed of processing that at least on the college level, he's able to solve problems very, very quickly. Now he'll need to translate that into the NFL in even a shorter time frame. But so far, scouts will look at him and say, yeah, he's solved every problem he's needed to solve mentally as a college quarterback. And that's very important going to the next level.
Yeah, unlike me in pre-calculus, my junior in high school, I didn't solve anything. Let's walk through the NFL draft order, and I want to talk about where he might go. So obviously Jaguars, if Trevor Lawrence comes out, you'd think he'd go there. Justin Fields, dark horse there. Jets, maybe Justin Fields. Like you said, maybe Zach Wilson. If Zach doesn't go in the top 2, Dolphins aren't taking a quarterback, you'd think, after drafting Tua last year. Falcons is intriguing. Trevor. Bengals don't need one. Joe Burrow. Eagles, maybe Jalen Hurts. They like him. Lions, do they stay with Matt Stafford? Panthers signed Teddy Bridgewater. Broncos think Drew Lock's the guy I think. Cowboys have Dak Prescott. Giants have Daniel Jones. Niners at 12. I feel like maybe it's 4 or 12 for Zach if he falls out of the top 2. What do you think?
I think the 49ers would be a good fit for him. Kyle Shanahan, their head coach, is very innovative in the way he uses all of the skill set of his quarterbacks. And with Joe Garoppolo kind of not being Joe Garoppolo in recent years, they may be looking for somebody to come in and take over or at least compete with Joe. And I think that means that they'll be able to use his ability to run without putting him, this is Zach now, without putting him in a position where he gets beat up too much. It's an ideal situation from the standpoint of the play call. But keep this in mind, that the farther down the first round Zach might fall, if he doesn't go in the top 2 or even 3, the better it is long-term for his career, because he'll be going to a better team, and probably a team with an aging veteran quarterback that is looking to develop a young guy for a couple of years and then put him in as a starter. That happened to Steve Young. I mean, Steve Young went to the USFL. He went to Tampa. He ended up in San Francisco behind Joe Montana and didn't start until he was in his 30s. But then he stepped out and had a Hall of Fame career because he was more than ready. You look at Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. He sat behind Brett Favre for a long time, but when he stepped in, he was ready. Then you look at some rookie quarterbacks now are coming in and doing better early, especially because of the way that college concepts have crept up into NFL offenses. But still, I think you've got an advantage if you can sit behind an established veteran for a year or so. Look at Patrick Mahomes, sat behind Alex Smith in Kansas City. So what does that mean? That means maybe a place like Tampa, the Colts. Tampa's got Tom Brady. He won't be there forever. The Colts, Phillip Rivers, he won't be there forever. These are places where if he drops down a little bit farther in the first round, if he ends up going, it actually could be better for his long-term career. So I wouldn't be too upset if I'm Zach Wilson if I didn't go in the top 10.
Yeah, listening to you talk about all those iconic quarterbacks and thinking about Zach as the understudy is
pretty fun.
Pretty wild and a fun thought for sure. Trevor Matich with us on BYU Sports Nation. Zach obviously is not the only player to have declared Trevor. In fact, by my count, I have 8 different BYU players that have said they're NFL bound, including Brady Christensen, Kyrus Tonga, Dax Milne, among others. How many draft picks do you expect BYU to have in the 2021 NFL draft?
Well, I think they'll have at least 4, those that you talked about, and they may have some others sneak in. And that would be phenomenal for BYU. I mean, it's in the short term, it hurts to lose that kind of talent, of course. But in the long term, one of the things that negative recruiters have used against BYU is that they don't get a lot of guys in the NFL. Now, I don't think that's fair. If you look around the league, you've got a lot of BYU players. I mean, Fred Warner is team captain for the 49ers. Jamal Williams is a workhorse for the Green Bay Packers. Taysom Hill is one of the most popular players on the Saints. Daniel Sorensen is the starting free safety for the Kansas City Chiefs. So we can go all the way through the NFL rosters and we can see BYU players playing key roles. But negative recruiters are trying to downplay that. Well, the more guys BYU can get drafted in any one draft means that the more those negative recruiting points can be slammed out of the park. And that will help BYU long term because recruits will see that they can not only come to BYU and play what amounts to a Power 5 schedule in a non-COVID year, they can also fulfill their dreams of being in a place like BYU as an undergraduate. And from there, they can get to the NFL. And so this year's draft is going to be very interesting for BYU's recruiting going forward.
4 would be awesome. Can't wait for the NFL draft. It's the cost of business for a great team, right? The news of the day, however, and we've buried it till right now, is that Jeff Grimes is reportedly taking the offensive coordinator position at Baylor, which should be fun because BYU plays at Baylor in October. What's your reaction to Jeff Grimes reportedly going to Baylor?
You know what? I much respect for Jeff Grimes and only wish him the best. He gave BYU a lot when he was here. He developed players. He developed the offense around them. And he's the architect of this fantastic offense that maximized Zach Wilson and his receivers and his offensive line. A power-running team that also had a downfield passing attack that was second to none. When you look at teams that do that, The two teams that are in the finals did that. Alabama and Ohio State both have devastating physical power running, backed up by not just short passing game, but deep strike passing game. And that's exactly the style that Jeff Grimes instituted and then developed players around. And it was phenomenal. I think he'll do a great job at Baylor, but who BYU brings in to replace him will need to be not only innovative, he'll also need to be first and foremost a developer of talent. Bring in guys and then develop them into outstanding college football players, better than what other teams who passed on those guys thought they could be. It's teaching and developing that is the key, and that's one of the things that Grimes did so well.
Apparently, it's time for a few BYU guys to just go to the great state of Texas, because now Steve Sarkisian is taking over for the Longhorns. Interested to hear your thoughts on how Steve Sarkisian fits in as the new head coach of such a blue blood program.
He's a great fit there for a lot of reasons. The biggest is, in a word, Oklahoma. In order for Texas to get where they want to go, they've got to get past the Sooners. And Tom Herman was 1-4, including a double dip in a championship game season against Oklahoma. That's the problem. They can't get past Oklahoma. So how do you do that? Well, you've got to develop an offense that can match or exceed them, because really defenses anymore are not the key to success in college football, although they are important. Offenses are the key to success. And Steve Sarkisian will be able to say to recruits that he developed Mac Jones at quarterback from a guy who was thought to be a game manager and an afterthought to a big-time playmaking, downfield passing Heisman finalist. And he can point to Devontae Smith, the wide receiver, who may well win the Heisman this year, who is a guy that excels at precision route running. We see his speed. We see him jump high in the air and catch the ball. But when you look at how he runs his routes, there is a devotion to the craft of route running. And that is a legacy of Alabama wide receivers going back to like Julio Jones and Amari Cooper, et cetera, that Devontae Smith has continued. But he has been developed in that by coaches like Steve Sarkisian. So all those terrific recruits in Texas can look at Longhorns and say, look, I can succeed there at the highest level because the guy who's proven he can do it in the last several years would now be my head coach. That helps recruiting for the Texas Longhorns tremendously. I think he will be a terrific fit there. Now, he needs to surround himself with a staff that goes deep into the heart of Texas recruiting and knows the high school coaches so he can hit the ground running. But as long as he does track the fantastic talent there.
And there's good news for Texas fans, because the last win for Steve Sarkisian as a BYU Cougar came in the Cotton Bowl. So that's fun. Let's finish with this. Ohio State and Alabama. It's a week out. We'll ask for a prediction of the winner next week because the game's on Monday. But what do you think of the matchup between the Buckeyes and the Crimson Tide?
You know, the interesting thing is that Ohio State was so hard to evaluate coming into the semi against Clemson, because they only had 6 games and a lot of players missed some of those games. I mean, their last 2 games, they had at least 20 guys miss each of those 2 games. And that means also the practice surrounding them. And so they had never really put together the kind of rhythm and chemistry that I expected them to put together. And until Clemson, then everything clicked into place all at once and they blew Clemson out of the water. And if you compare these 2 teams, you've got defenses that are solid. I think Alabama has the edge. But the offense is interesting because both have a strong power running game with big physical running backs. Both have a vertical passing game with receivers that can get downfield and finish the play, making great catches for deep strikes. The biggest difference that I see on paper right now on offense is that while Alabama's Mac Jones at quarterback is a great deep thrower, and he's a pretty good runner, Justin Fields of Ohio State is every bit as accurate throwing down the field, but he's an elite runner. I mean, he's got the power and the moves of a high-level running back, and he also can throw the ball down the field with the best of them. I mean, his accuracy overall and his accuracy downfield, Justin Fields, has been better over the last couple of years than even Trevor Lawrence at those same kinds of things. So that's where I think there's a big difference. But again, chemistry is everything, and we'll find out if this Ohio State team came together against Clemson on a one-off and they just got kind of fortunate that it worked out, or if they now are ready to carry that chemistry and that rhythm forward into the championship game. That, to me, will be the biggest unknown and the biggest individual factor.
The Buckeyes and the Tide 1 week from tonight. He is Trevor Matich, first-round draft pick back in 1985, first-rate broadcaster for ESPN and a friend of BYU Sports Nation. Great to talk with you, Trevor. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Trevor Matich on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, you know why, we show how.